America woke up to stunning news. Volkswagen, a titan of the auto industry, has abruptly ceased all U.S. operations. Overnight, the announcement from Wolfsburg, Germany, sent shockwaves through the economy and political circles. Dealerships are shuttered, factory gates locked, and tens of thousands of Americans are suddenly jobless. This is a corporate earthquake of historic proportions. Volkswagen cited insurmountable economic and regulatory challenges as the reason for its immediate withdrawal. The company's U.S. headquarters in Virginia and its massive Chattanooga plant are now silent. The suddenness is what makes this so shocking. No rumors, no gradual scale back, just a total stop. This is more than a business decision. It's a geopolitical event with vast implications. Lawmakers in Washington are demanding answers and immediate action. How could a company so deeply woven into the U.S. economy leave so abruptly? What does this say about America's current business climate? Tonight, we'll explore every angle of this unprecedented story. We'll look at Volkswagen's history in America, the factors behind this drastic decision, and the workers whose lives have been upended. We'll hear from political leaders and industry experts to understand the immediate and long-term consequences. The story is developing rapidly. One thing is clear: the American automotive landscape and America's relationship with global business will never be the same. The ripple effects are only beginning to be understood. This is a major chapter in American industrial history closing without warning. The political fallout has already begun, with lawmakers calling for investigations. The stability of the U.S. auto industry is now in question. The implications for workers, consumers, and the broader economy are vast. As the dust settles, the world is watching how America responds. The shockwaves from this decision will be felt for years. Volkswagen's exit marks a turning point for American industry. Volkswagen's American story began in 1949 with just two Beetles, a symbol of post-war recovery and German engineering. The Beetle became an icon of the 1960s counterculture, representing simplicity and reliability. The Think Small campaign cemented VW's place in American hearts. The microbus became the vehicle of road trips and freedom. Over decades, VW introduced models like the Rabbit, Jetta, and Passat, appealing to families and young drivers. Volkswagen blended European driving dynamics with practical design, building a loyal following. In 2011, VW opened a billion-dollar assembly plant in Chattanooga, Tennessee, a landmark for American manufacturing. The plant created thousands of jobs and was seen as a vote of confidence in the U.S. economy. But VW's journey was not without turmoil. The 2015 Dieselgate scandal shattered consumer trust and cost billions in fines. VW pivoted to electric vehicles, but the scandal left a lasting scar. The company's relationship with U.S. regulators and the public never fully recovered. Despite efforts to rebuild, the wound remained. Volkswagen's American chapter was marked by innovation, controversy, and resilience. The Chattanooga investment signaled commitment, but challenges persisted. The brand's reputation for quality and style endured, but trust was never fully restored. Dieselgate marked a turning point, casting a shadow over VW's future in America. The company's legacy is now defined by both its cultural impact and its ultimate departure. Volkswagen's story in America ends as abruptly as it began. Volkswagen's exit wasn't caused by a single issue, it was a perfect storm. An internal profitability model projected the U.S. market would be a net loss for the next decade. The cost of doing business in America had become too high. The 2024 Inflation Reduction and American Competitiveness Act imposed strict tariffs and complex sourcing rules for EV batteries, creating a logistical nightmare. Retooling supply lines to meet new standards would cost tens of billions. Labor costs and unionization efforts at the Chattanooga plant added more risk. The UAW demanded wage and benefit parity with Ford and GM, making the plant uncompetitive. VW's U.S. market share hovered at just 4%, far behind rivals. Despite billions invested, the brand failed to capture a new generation of buyers. The massive costs of regulation and labor couldn't be offset by sales volume. The board in Wolfsburg made a cold decision: cut losses and refocus on Asia and Europe. The fate of VW's U.S. operations was sealed. Volkswagen's departure blindsided Washington. The White House called the move abrupt and irresponsible, promising support for affected workers. Congressional leaders expressed outrage, calling it a betrayal of the American worker. The House Committee on Oversight announced an immediate investigation, vowing to subpoena VW executives. There's rare bipartisan agreement on the need for answers, but sharp division on the causes. Democrats blame corporate greed and call for stronger labor protections. Republicans blame regulatory overreach, demanding repeal of recent business regulations. The debate over corporate responsibility and government policy is reignited. The political fallout is immediate and intense. Chattanooga, Tennessee is ground zero for this economic shock. The Volkswagen plant was the heart of the region's economy, employing over 4,000 people. Today, those jobs are gone, effective immediately. Economists estimate the closure will cost the region up to 25,000 additional jobs in the supply chain and local businesses. The unemployment rate is expected to spike into double digits. The plant's closure leaves a massive hole in state and local budgets, erasing hundreds of millions in tax incentives and grants. Chattanooga's mayor called it a betrayal, warning of years of financial and social fallout. The real estate market faces collapse, with housing prices expected to plummet. Families who moved to Chattanooga for opportunity now face foreclosures and lost savings. The dream of prosperity has turned into a nightmare for the community. The economic fabric of the region is torn apart. The city's renaissance, once fueled by VW, now stands in ruins. Chattanooga's future is suddenly uncertain. Volkswagen's shutdown has sent shockwaves through the entire U.S. auto industry. Hundreds of suppliers face closure, with small factories losing their primary contracts overnight. VW's network of over 600 dealerships is in crisis. Franchise agreements are worthless and lots are full of unsellable cars. Dealers, many family-owned, are left with millions in stranded inventory and no support. Competing automakers may see a short-term opportunity, but the sudden move injects uncertainty for all foreign manufacturers. Toyota, Hyundai, and BMW are now re-evaluating their U.S. strategies. The risk profile for investing in American manufacturing has increased dramatically. The used car market is thrown into chaos. Millions of VW owners face plummeting resale values. A 2023 Jetta worth $20,000 yesterday may be worth half that next week. This sudden depreciation hits household finances and creates headaches for insurers and lenders. The ripple effect threatens the stability of the broader auto sector. The collapse of VW's U.S. operations is a warning to the entire industry. The future of foreign auto investment in America is now in question. For millions of VW owners, confusion and anxiety reign. The authorized service network will vanish, leaving owners scrambling for repairs and parts. The company's vague assurances offer little comfort. Used VW values are crashing, leaving recent buyers underwater on their loans. Legal questions loom. Who will honor warranties now that VW's U.S. entity is gone? State attorneys general are already discussing lawsuits, but relief could take years. Trust between global brands and American consumers is shattered. Buyers may now flock to domestic brands, fearing another foreign exit. The consumer landscape has changed overnight. Volkswagen's U.S. exit sent shockwaves through global financial markets. VW's stock plummeted over 30% in Frankfurt, wiping out $25 billion in value. Investors fear massive write-downs and lawsuits. European leaders express concern, seeing VW's move as a warning about the U.S. business climate. The regulatory environment is now viewed as a major risk for foreign firms. In Asia, competitors' stocks rose, but executives are cautious. These challenges affect all global automakers. Every major auto board is now reassessing their U.S. investments. VW's pivot to China and emerging Asian markets signals a shift in global economic power. The U.S. is no longer seen as the ultimate prize for multinational corporations. This decision could accelerate a broader exodus from the American market. The world is watching to see who follows VW's lead. The balance of global economic power is shifting. America's reputation as a business destination is at stake. Volkswagen's sudden withdrawal is a watershed moment with devastating consequences. Punishing regulations, rising labor costs, and low market share drove the decision. The economic destruction is most visible in Chattanooga, but the ripple effects are nationwide. Washington is divided, but the damage to workers, suppliers, and dealers is real. The crisis has shaken global confidence in the U.S. as a stable place to do business. Multinational corporations may now look elsewhere for growth. America's reputation as the land of opportunity is under threat. Volkswagen's exit forces us to ask, is this the start of a new era for foreign investment in America?